Hey everyone, intuitive and astrologer Lisa Salvatore here to talk to you about the Pisces new moon that takes place on February 20th. First things first, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you appreciate this content. It really helps me to grow my channel and you will be notified of all new uploads. Today that I record this video, it is Monday, February 6th, and we are coming off of this powerful Leo full moon as of yesterday, February 5th. First, I would just like to say it was very heartbreaking and devastating to see the destruction that Turkey has experienced not once, but twice in a 24-hour period. Words cannot even begin to describe the heaviness that I felt in my heart, that I feel in my heart when I see images of this destruction. It's terrible. Prayers to the people of Turkey, prayers for all of us. To a lesser extent, there was actually an earthquake in Buffalo, New York, not too far from my neck of the woods, and these typically do not happen over here. Not to say that they can, but they typically do not. And while I'm not going to sit here and say that astrology is responsible for everything, because it is not, I do just want to point out that Uranus, the planet that rules over earthquakes of many things, is actually still in a square to the sun and was in an almost perfect square to the sun and moon at the time of the Leo full moon. Again, this is not the reason that we've seen this catastrophic activity, but it can just help to put some context to it. This is definitely a time to pray, to have faith. And as we embark upon Pisces season and this Pisces moon, Pisces is the sign of divinity. It is the sign of source. It is the sign of faith. It's the sign of compassion and altruism. So let's keep these sentiments in mind as we move throughout the month of February. You don't have to be religious to have faith. You don't have to be religious to pray. You just have to trust and believe in something greater outside of yourself, in a higher power. Okay, so let's talk about this Pisces new moon. This is actually a supermoon, and it is the fourth of 5 new moons at the first degree, which really heightens the energy of the new beginnings. New moons are always about a fresh start, new beginnings, initiation. And at the first degree is always about new beginnings, manifestation, and initiation. Now, Pisces is a sign of strong spiritual energy. Pisces is a sign that does very well in solitude. They need time to contemplate, to meditate, to dream. But Pisces also needs boundaries and grounding. It's not always easy for Pisces energy to apply boundaries and grounding. But we do have the support of Saturn around this new moon to help ground the energy, to help us get things done, to help us to not lose steam and check out. So this new moon takes place on February 20th, 2:06 a.m. Eastern Time at 1 degree and 22 minutes of Pisces. Now, this energy is more of a metaphysical energy as opposed to a physical energy. Pisces is all about what we don't see. It's what's beneath the surface. It's the unconscious material. It's what we feel more than anything else. It's a very feeling sign. We're also in Pisces season. The sun and the moon are both in Pisces. So there's this conjunction of Pisces, which really, really emphasizes this spiritual and ethereal vibe. This is actually a very powerful new moon for projects of all kinds, especially creative projects. It's a great new moon for collaboration. It's a great new moon for intensity of emotion and getting to the bottom of things. It's a great new moon for being honest with yourself about what you really want, what you truly want, and not keeping up all these blockages, obstacles, and boundaries in order to get what it is that you want. This new moon energy brings in with it, at least on the personal level, more harmony than it does stress. And if there is some stress attached to it, when you lean into it and when you utilize the Pisces energy of meditation and prayer and faith and contemplation, it will likely lessen that stress for you. Now, this new moon is going to be the most powerful for the mutable signs, which are Gemini, Pisces especially, Sagittarius, and Virgo, between 0 and 5 degrees. And then also the fixed signs, which are Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius, between 27 and 29 degrees. These placements will feel this energy the strongest. Be sure to pull up your birth chart and set intentions in the area of your chart, of your life, where this Pisces new moon will fall. Now, this new moon also has the potential to be extremely peaceful. It has the potential for a strong, peaceful energy. But remember, only you are in charge of how you protect your peace or how you do not, or how you allow your peace to be disrupted by outside forces. Pisces is all about going within. So that is what we can control, what's in here. So this is going to be a new moon where we're really going to feel the call to go inward. And that is the wisest way. You're going to want to truly tap into and listen to your intuition. Intuition is on fire around this new moon. If you're somebody who's not normally inclined to go in that direction, to not really trust your hunches, to go with logic more than intuition, to go with the tangible versus the intangible, you may find a lot of opposition around this new moon. The objective with Pisces energy is to flow. It won't always make sense on the physical plane, but it will make sense on the spiritual plane. There's also the potential to feel a little bit scattered under these energies due to the fact that Pisces is a mutable water sign, and it's the 12th sign of the zodiac. So it tends to take a little bit from each of the 11 signs prior. And it can get a little messy sometimes. It can get a little scattered. It doesn't necessarily know which way it wants to go. Remember, the symbol for Pisces is two fish swimming in opposite directions. That is much of what this energy can feel like. And like every sign, there's a higher vibration and a lower vibration. And the lower vibration of Pisces can lend towards addiction and escapist behaviors. It can be illusory. It can be deceitful. We can be deceiving ourselves, perhaps deceiving others. So we really just want to watch out for that. Pisces is ruled by both Jupiter and Neptune. And Jupiter is all about expansion and benevolence and faith. Pisces is all about compassion, intuition, divinity, softness. But again, there's always the shadow components. So just watch your potential to overdo it in any which way. Pisces can go to extremes, but it's really very important to trust and honor your natural hunches, your natural intuition, those feelings that come up. I do feel that for the most part, this new moon has a lot of really nice potential. Let me pull up the chart. So here we have the Pisces new moon, February 20th, 2023, 2:06 a.m. Eastern time. And we see right here, we've got the sun and the moon in an exact conjunction, which is what happens when we have a new moon at 1 degree and 22 minutes of Pisces. Again, that first degree, new projects, new situations, new emotional situations are all indicated under this energy. The closest aspect here, and honestly one of the more stabilizing forces to this new moon, is that we have Saturn over here at 28 degrees and 10 minutes of Aquarius. So yes, this is an out of sign conjunction, but it's very close to the new moon. So Saturn aligning with this new moon is bringing in a sense of structure. It's bringing in a sense of security. It's bringing in a sense of grounding. But it's also coercing us to not go too Piscean and to swim out into the deep end because Pisces is so deep, right? Saturn is that anchor that keeps us rooted to the shore so that we don't float away, so that we don't drown in the waters of Pisces, okay? Metaphorically speaking. So yes, it's great to dream and it's great to go into the intuitive realms, and that's going to be encouraged and actually going to be very prevalent under this new moon. But then we've got this Saturn influence that's ready to ground us, that wants us to anchor, that wants us to lock in and continue to do the work and not get too swept up in the fantasy, but to stay within the reality. So this is a blessing around this new moon. Having the support of Saturn here is very helpful. Now, what's interesting is that Saturn is at the very last degrees here of Aquarius, about to move into Pisces. Saturn's going to move into Pisces officially on March 7th. So Saturn's getting ready for a big shift that's going to be for the next 2.5 years. It's definitely going to color the collective energy in a very different way. I go into a lot of detail on that in my 2023 forecast, which I've linked below. So again, Saturn conjunct this new moon does bring in more of a grounding force to this energy. Now, we've also got Pluto sextiling the new moon, supportive aspect. And the new moon is also supported by the nodal axis. The north node's here at 6 degrees of Taurus, and the south node's in exact opposition at 6 degrees of Scorpio. Scorpio and Taurus both harmonize here with this new moon in Pisces. So again, this is linked to the future. This is linked to our destiny. This is very much linked to what we still need to let go of in order to move towards the truth, towards our destiny. And Pisces asks us to go inward and reflect upon this. If you dream it, you can achieve it. If you're dreaming of it, there's a reason for it. That is what this new moon speaks to. This is a very strong creative energy. So any type of creative work that you are doing, this new moon is going to propel you forward. This new moon is going to take you higher. Anything having to do with writing, with music, with aesthetics. Venus is over here in the very last moments of Pisces. And when planets are at that 29th degree, they're really energized before they move on into the next sign. So that Venus in Pisces is also supporting us here. And Venus is also harmonizing with Pluto, and they're both at the 29th degree. So this is very powerful because Venus and Pluto contacting each other brings in heat. It brings in an intensity of emotion, of passion, of feeling, of desire, and that can go both ways. And we're dealing with the 29th degree, which means that with the 29th degree of any planet, the less than stellar properties of the sign that the planet falls in can also be pronounced. So it goes both ways. But it is a soft aspect between Venus and Pluto. So we're going to go with, this is going to be a really nice, sweet energy for our relationships, for our dealings. It's about getting to the heart of the matter. It's about getting to the truth. But again, making sure that you're watching the potential to be diluted. Now, we're still feeling this buzz of Uranus energy. Uranus is over here at 15 degrees and 17 minutes of Taurus, and it's actually making a harsh aspect to Mercury over here in Aquarius. It's making a square aspect. But it's really interesting because Mercury in Aquarius, Mercury does very well in the sign of Aquarius, and Uranus actually rules the sign of Aquarius. So we've got this really strong Uranian vibe, Uranian flavor. And when Mercury and Uranus connect, there's always these magnificent ideas, intuitive downloads that come to us like flashes. They come in very, very quickly. And Pisces is an extremely intuitive sign that is connected to spirit. So between all of this Pisces energy and the Uranus square Mercury and the Venus Pluto, the downloads can be coming in quick. And again, you just want to really be paying attention to what comes in for you, to what you feel. Again, this is a much more feeling new moon than it is logic, than it is thinking, than it is actuality, than it is factual. Doesn't mean that there won't be facts coming in, because yes, there will be. You just have to trust your intuitive impressions first and foremost. And the more you do that around this time, the more this is going to lead you to your truth. The more this is going to manifest more beneficially for you. So I would tell you to let go and flow a little bit about what is coming in. Now, speaking of that buzz, Mercury over here at 12 degrees and 48 minutes of Aquarius is also in a trine aspect to Mars here at 15 degrees of Gemini. This is very helpful for our communications, for all of our projects that we're working on, partnerships of all kinds. It's a very lively energy. It really increases the mental stimulation. It really activates the mental activity. We can get some really great ideas that come in around this time. That Mercury-Mars trine will bring in the logic. We've got all this intuition around. Now, this new moon has a very strong feminine energy attached to it. We're dealing with a lot of Pisces, which is a very feminine sign, and there's definitely a softness to this new moon. Now, that doesn't mean everything going on outside of us is going to be soft and smooth, because it's not. I don't think you need to be psychic or an astrologer or anybody of any kind of specialty to say that here. We all know that this is the truth right now, but I'm talking more on the personal level. Okay, and you might also find that you're more physically tired, more physically drained around this new moon. Now, intuitively, you're going to probably feel extremely connected. And it's really important that you make time to connect, to foster that connection. Meditation is your friend. Getting outside into nature is your friend. Quiet breath work is your friend. Dropping in, tapping in, tuning in, quiet time. That is your friend right now. In fact, if you can't normally do this, if you find that you're typically too scattered, you may find it a lot easier around this new moon, because that's the energy. So just make sure that you're taking care of yourself, honoring what it is that you need. Be sure to set some intentions in the areas of life in which this new moon falls for you. Okay, so if you are an Aries rising, this new moon is going to take place in your 12th house. The 12th house is ruled by Pisces. So this does bring in a very strong Piscean element for you, and this is a Pisces new moon. So this is going to be a really good new moon for you if you're doing any type of spiritual work, spiritual practices, if you're trying to increase your divination skills, if you're working on learning tarot cards or astrology or anything of a spiritual nature, meditation, tai chi, breath work, anything like that. This is going to be a really supportive new moon energy for you. Also for doing any behind the scenes work, psychological work, cleaning things up. Very strong spiritual energy for Aries rising. The 12th house is the house of spirituality. It is the house of the unconscious. It's a very psychic place. So if you do psychic work, this will be a great new moon for you as well. Taurus rising, this new moon takes place in your 11th house. This is the house of the groups that we're a part of. It's the house of our friendships. It's also the house of our hopes, dreams, and wishes, what we're looking to accomplish. This is also a place of networking. So if you are a Taurus rising, look to set intentions to put yourself out there and to move toward your dreams, to move towards where it is that you want to go. Taurus rising can tend to be very limited in who they trust, who they will open up to. And this new moon is going to ask you to drop your guard a little bit and honor the people that are in your current reality and see what networking opportunities are there for you. You're going to have to let go and grow. And in the true Pisces way, learn to flow. Gemini rising, this new moon is going to take place in your 10th house of your career, your public image, your status. So having this new moon here is going to ask you to get real about what it is that you want. No dreams are too big. Slow down, calm down, drop in. Gemini energy often has a hard time dropping in and really just being with themselves and really quieting their mind enough to listen to their heart. So this new moon energy is going to bring in an element of slow down, calm down, tune in. What do you want for your future? Are you happy with your status? Are you happy with your current job, your current place in life? Set some intentions in these areas of life. Cancer rising, this new moon is going to take place in your 9th house of expansion and philosophy, faith, higher learning. This is a Jupiter-ruled house, and this is also a Jupiter-ruled new moon for you, Cancer. This does bring in a very strong intuitive awareness about what has been limiting you, what of your own patterns and behaviors, emotionally speaking especially, have been limiting you, where you've wanted to grow, where you've wanted to expand. Perhaps you want to enroll yourself in a new program, a new form of education. Maybe your belief systems are changing. This new moon's going to really bring in a higher intuitive awareness for you. So set some intentions in these areas of life. Leo rising, this new moon is going to take place in your 8th house. The 8th house is the house of deep bonding and intimacy. It's also the house of our taxes, our loans, our debts, our shared resources, secrets. It's also a very emotional, psychological water house. Set some intentions in the 8th house areas of life. Virgo rising, this new moon takes place in your 7th house of partnerships, contracts, negotiations, agreements. What are you looking to manifest in these areas? So set some intentions here. Libra rising, this new moon takes place in your 6th house of your daily routine, your service, your health, your habits, the people that you are in contact with every day through your service, through your daily life. So maybe it's time to shake up your routine a little bit, bring in something new that you've been wanting to pull in. Let your intuition guide you. Where do you feel out of balance? This Pisces new moon will pull in and guide you towards that, to getting it back into balance. Scorpio rising, this new moon takes place in your 5th house of fun and pleasure and play. It's also the house of romance, children, creative projects. So allow this new moon to guide you in these areas and trust your intuition. Sagittarius rising, this new moon takes place in your 4th house. This is an emotional water house. So this can feel like a very emotional new moon for you. You may be feeling a lot of nostalgia around your family dynamics, the way that you grew up, childhood memories. This can all feel very positive. If you need to reconnect with people in your life, this is a great new moon for that. If you've been desiring to clean things up in your physical environment, this new moon's going to give you a nice push in that direction. But it's going to be a nice soft push because it is Pisces. It's soft. So set some intentions here. Capricorn rising, this new moon is going to take place in your 3rd house of communication, your community, the people that you're in close contact with, your siblings, your cousins, those that are like those energies for you. Short distance travel and education also falls under the 3rd house. If you have any dreams and aspirations in these areas, or if you need to bring in some new ways of communication, this is a great new moon for that. So set some intentions here. Aquarius rising, this new moon takes place in your 2nd house of your personal finances, your resources, what it is that you value. It's also your self-worth. The 2nd house is a very sensual house. So how much are you honoring and tuning into your own needs? This Pisces new moon is going to intuitively reflect that back to you. Set some intentions in these areas of life. Don't disconnect. Allow yourself to truly connect to what it is that your soul is craving. And Pisces rising, this is your new moon. This takes place in your 1st house. Very personal. This is your expression. This is your personality. This is your appearance. This is your very essence in a way. You especially should trust your intuition here and set intentions for not only the month ahead, but specifically for the year ahead, because this is your new moon. This can be truly magical for you when you tap into the energy. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the month and a wonderful new moon, and I will be back soon with more videos. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Take care.